And the sad girl, who had hated herself for being different from all of her classmates, finally found her own meaning. At that moment, Maria's universe, which had once been nothingness, was born as a clump of ultra-hot, ultra-high pressured energy. Then, later on, she went to Rokenjima, met the endless witch who called herself Beatrice, and the clump of energy exploded in a big bang, giving birth to their joint system of magic. Yeah. So the whole thing with religion and angels and demons and such, it wasn't necessarily when Maria met Beatrice. Beatrice, like, pretty much built on what was already created inside Maria's heart, with the answers that she found prior to Beatrice. It wasn't entirely that Beatrice was the one who gave Maria the answers to being happy. Maria already had some stuff behind before, which, it's nice. It's it is a way of saying once again that Maria is a strong person, that even alone she found a bit of an answer that would suit her heart, and eventually she also found Beatrice to help her with that, which is nice. And that was the universe known as Maria Sorcière.
話が少し飛躍しすぎだ。順を追う。
うん、いいよ。どこから？
自分は精霊の子だと解釈したお前が、そこから次第にオカルトに傾倒していくことは容易に理解できる。そこからだ。そんなお前がベアトリーチェとどこで出会い、どのように交流していったか。
それは本当にある日突然の唐突なこと。六軒島に住まうベアトリーチェという魔女に私は会ってみたかったの。同じ魔女として。
その頃にはもう自分が魔女という自覚があったのか？
あった。その頃には聖書とオカルトでは大人にも負けないくらいの知識があったから。だから私は魔法は使えずとも自分を魔女だと信じてた。ちょっと滑稽だね。だから私は魔女見習いなの。
いつベアトリーチェと出会った？
よくは覚えてない。でもその出会いはよく覚えてる。それはとてもとても唐突だった。
She did say before that she doesn't remember when exactly. I do remember, I think it was like episode 3, I think. She was talking to Rosa, and Rosa asked her, when did you meet Beatrice? And Maria didn't really have an answer for that. Same thing. I was thinking that maybe it's just Ryukishi slash the story not giving us too many details, because if we were told like when they met each other, then that would have been a little bit of a dead giveaway for some answers, maybe. Who knows? Such a very, very abrupt encounter. And just been drinking some milk tea, all alone in the rose garden arbor. Mama said that she had to talk about something important with Uncle Kraus, so she told me to go outside and play. Suddenly, she was sitting right there. I didn't know anyone who spoke that way. I quickly realized that she was someone I didn't know at all.
あなたは誰？
会いたいと言ったのはそなただ。わらわの島に魔女が訪ねてくるから出迎えてやったというのに、 そなたはわらわの名を問うというのか？
Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it can very well be after the portrait was put in the first place. If I'm to think of my previous ideas and such. Yeah. It can very well be that Maria saw the portrait, like, in the mansion for, like, the first time, and decided, I want to see Beatrice. And, well, there you have it. There's Beatrice. After the Beatrice was born. Well, actually, I think that this is elder Beato, if I'm to think about it. Yeah, can very well be. Like, we have elder Beato over here, meaning Maria.
ベアトリーチェ。
いかにもわらわがベアトリーチェである。
確かに唐突だな。
Yeah, quite so.
うん、とっても。魔女や精霊はいつだって私たちのそばにいる。彼らが姿を見せようとしないだけで。そして彼らが姿を見せたなら、それはあまりに唐突に、そして当たり前にそこにいる。
Yeah, that's how witches are. They do tend to prank people by spooking them, like all of a sudden, boo! Hey, I was right here the entire time.
私はそれをまさに知ったの。
そしてベアトリーチェと友達に？
うん。彼女はママの用事が終わるまでずっと私とおしゃべりをしてくれた。魔法の話や魔女の話、マリアが精霊の子であることも。
その時のベアトリーチェの印象は？
こう言っては悪いけど、知識だけなら私が上だった。
Hey, you knew more than she did. What do you mean?
最初は彼女のことを大した魔女じゃないと見下しかけた。まあ、それは私のうぬぼれ。魔法体験にはいろんなものがある。ましてや、私のそれは独学。ベアトの魔法体系とは異なったから、私が一方的にそういう印象を持ってしまったんだろうね。すぐにそれを後悔して謝ることになるの。
謝る？ベアトリーチェが何かお前の尊敬を勝ち取ることをしてみせたのか？なるほど。魔法を見せたというわけか。
We moved to the beach and talked lots, sitting at a table under an umbrella.
なるほど。マリア、そなたは実に勤勉だ。その年で千年の魔女のわらわにそれだけの講釈をできるとは、実に尊敬に値する。して、そなたは何の魔法を使えるのか？
魔法？
そなたが魔女を語るならば、魔法の一つも見せられるであろうが。
I was stunned for a second. Of course, it should have been obvious. I was a child of the Holy Ghost, and since I studied so much of the occult, I was also a witch, not a human. Until that day, I had been so sure of both of these things. I had been so sure of both of those things. So when I was asked what sort of magic I could use, it left me in a daze.
魔法を知り、語るに至ってようやく見習いよう。そしてそれを魔法という形で実践できてこそ魔女というものではないか？
マリアはまだ魔女じゃないの？
よく学んでいる。そして 類まれな才能も感じる。そなたはやがてわらわなど足元にも及ばぬ偉大な魔女、あるいはそなたが言うように造物主の座にさえ上り詰めるだろう。しかしまだ幼く若いそなたはそう見習いだ。魔女の見習いというところよ。
じゃあベアとは魔法を使うことができるの？
無論であるとも。魔法を使えずして魔女を名乗ることなどできぬわ。
すごい。見せて、ベアとの魔法見せて。
Until this day, Maria had never doubted the magic-related concept that she was the child of the Holy Ghost. However, no one had ever proven to her that the occult phenomenon actually existed. Maria could create a universe all by herself. However, she wanted to share it with a second person, so that she could believe in it even more strongly. Yeah, you know, connection.
かつてのわらわならば空に虹をかけ、それを七色のキャンディーに変えて自由にかじらせることもできた。しかし今のわらわは姿を保つことさえ満足にできぬほどに衰えている。
さっき聞いた。あの鎮守の社のせいで力が出せないって。
力を取り戻すにはかなりの時間をかける。虹をキャンディーにしてやることは今はできぬ。しかしささやかな魔法にてその一端を見せることはできようぞ。
見たい。ベアとの魔法見たい。
よかろう。しかしそなたにも協力を求めねばならぬぞ。
Alright. Gonna take a wild guess, like a wild educated guess, and we're gonna do some candy magic right around here.
先ほども言った。いかにそなたが汚れなき魂を持とうとも、人間はもはや汚れ、魔法を拒む毒素に満ちていると。
聞いた。半魔法の毒素があるって聞いた。マリアの読んだ本には載ってなかった。だからそれを知ってるベアとはすごい。
It's experience, sweetie. It's experience. Not something that you can pick up in a book that easily. And Beatrice lifted up an antique teacup. Yeah. Then turned it around in front of Maria to show that there weren't any tricks or strings. Yeah.
伏せたカップにキャンディーが現れる魔法か。
Yeah.
どうしてわかるの？
Well, you know, because we are magic connected as well.
ウィルはすごいね。魔女の使う魔法もわかるんだね。
魔女の魔法の基本だからな。
Eh. Admittedly, yeah. Doesn't make it less special, but, you know, it's one of the first ones.
カップは何の仕掛けもない普通のカップだったよ。私は見たかった。本当の魔法を見たかった。
Maria had a desire. She had a desire to discover the occult in others, to help her believe that there was an occult side to herself. That was why she agreed to help Beatrice with her magic. She didn't want her own toxic to ruin her chance of knowing the miracles of magic.
よいぞ。さあ、そのカップを開けてみるがいい。
あ、キャンディーだ。キャンディーだ。
わらわからそなたへの挨拶代わりと新しき魔女との出会いと友情にそれを贈ろう。
This was a true miracle of magic. For the first time, I felt shame and embarrassment at my conceit. I could feel the sense of omnipotence disappear. The idea that I was the child of the Holy Ghost and the most important and special person. Instead of a child of the Holy Ghost who cannot do anything, I'd rather be a witch who can use magic. I, with Shiromiya Maria, wanted to become a witch. Starting off as a witch apprentice. Already, I was obsessed with battle.
マリアも本当の魔女になりたい。ベアトの弟子になりたい。
謙遜を。そなたには十分な才能と日々の精進があるぞ。それにかつての力のあるわらわならともかく、この程度の魔法しか使えぬ衰えたわらわでは弟子を持つことなどできぬわ。
Though it may have been different when I was at my full power, I cannot take on a disciple in my current state. So one can say... Okay. Again, maybe I can go with my previous ideas. I guess one can say that Baby Battle was actually stronger than Elder Battle.
マリアは魔女の弟子にはなれない？
うん。わらわの弟子にはできぬ。しかし、友人にはできる。
Okay.
本
うん。わらわとそなたはこれより友人だ。これからも共に深き魔女の世界を語り合おうではないか。
当？ベアト、ありがとう。このベアトのキャンディー食べてもいい？
いいや、それは土産にせよ。食べずにそなたの可愛らしいカバンに収めよ。
お家で食べる。
マリア、そのキャンディーは魔法で生み出されたものだ。ゆえに脆い。そなたがわらわの存在をその毒素で否定したなら溶けて消えてしまうだろう。
嫌だ。ベアトからもらった大切な魔法消えるの嫌だ。
ならばわらわという魔女に出会ったことを決して忘れてはならぬぞ。そなたがわらわとのささやかな約束を守る限り、そなたがまたこの島へ来るときは再びわらわがそなたを迎えようぞ。
守る。約束って何？
まずはそうだな。家へ帰ったら手を洗う。うがいをする。めんどくさがってはならぬぞ。魔女見習いの立派な修行の一つであるぞ。
We are sneakily... Not sneakily, but Beatrice is being a mother to Maria here with this stuff.
守る。毎日お家に帰ってきたら手を洗う。うがいをする。そうしたらまた会ってくれる？
約束しようぞ。そなたがわらわとの約束をきっちり守れたなら、そなたの体は清められ、わらわもさらに魔力を取り戻す。さすれば次に来るときはより素晴らしい魔法を見せようぞ。
Subarashi!
約束守る。絶対。マリアはなる。ベアトの友達になって魔女見習いになる。
良き心がけであるぞ、後ろ宮マリアよ。そなたが早く一人前の魔女になってわらわの良き友人に成長してくれることを心より願っている。
Okay, well, that was nice. Now I do have to question though.
これが私の初めてのベアトリーチェとの出会いだったと思う。
Like, I do have to question why Maria didn't become a disciple at that point. Because she eventually does. I guess maybe this is a form of test for Maria. that Beatrice wouldn't just accept Maria as a disciple yet. She has to prove herself. Something like that, maybe.
そのもらった飴は家に帰ってもちゃんとあったか？
うん。でもその存在を少しだけ疑ったから飴は溶けかかっていた。私は彼女を疑いかけたことを後悔したよ。
Ah. Okay, I see. So, Beatrice wanted Maria to get the candy, like home and such, like intentionally, just so that, well, okay, not to say this in front of Maria or anything like that, but the candy would have melted anyway in a realistic sense. However, Beatrice wanted Maria to think of this as if Maria didn't 100% trust Beatrice, which in turn would make Maria work even harder to no longer doubt Beatrice and such. Because in Maria's mind, if she didn't doubt Beatrice, then the candy wouldn't have melted in the first place. Beatrice used that technique to make Maria work harder, since she would see that the candy would melt, and thus, well, there you go. So, I don't know, I like Beatrice to use some form of like psychology trick on Maria to make her like the true witch disciple in the future.
もしもっと疑っていたら飴は消えてなくなっていたに違いない。そしたら私は目の当たりにした魔法の奇跡の証拠を失うところだった。
飴が溶けていたのか？
飴というよりはキャラメルだったと思う。溶けかかってぐにゃぐにゃだった。
それは何月頃の話だ？
詳しく覚えてない。でもミルクティーがアイスだったことは覚えてる。それが何？
なんでもない。ベアトリーチェに出会ったことはローザには話したのか？
うん。その日のお夕飯の時にみんなに話した。クラウスおじさんに笑われた。そしたら隣の席のママにその話は終わりにしなさいって怒られた。おお。
隣の席？序列上、お前の席はローザと隣り合わないはずだ。
親族会議じゃないもん。ママとマリアだけが訪ねた時の話。だからクラウスおじさん一家全員とママとマリアしかいない。
Yeah, I mean, unless we're talking about like a high event or something like that, why do we always have to go by that rule? Just let Maria sit by her mother, like at a normal dinner and such. I mean, come on.
席は詰めるから親族会議の時とはお席がちょっと違うの。
Yeah.
うん。お前の隣の席にローザだったんだな。
うん。それが何？
なんでもない。
Does it matter though? Will is thinking of something over here. I'm not sure what. That Maria is sitting near Rosa.
ベアトリーチェとロッケン島以外で会ったことは？
ないよ。だってベアとは体が希薄で自由には動けないんだもの。マリアの体に乗り移ってもいいよって言ったけど、島からは離れられないからできないって言ってた。
その後はロッケン島へ行くたびに会っていたということか？
うん。私たちは大の仲良しになった。ベアトと話せば話すほどに彼女は本当にすごい魔女だと思い知ったよ。彼女は会うたびにいつも素敵な魔法を見せてくれた。そして私とは異なる魔法体系を聞かせてくれて、 二人で魔法の深淵を語り合ったよ。私は早く彼女の高みに登りたいと思った。ベアトのような魔女の域に達したいと願った。
ベアトリーチェを母親に紹介したことは？
ないよ。ママは毒素が強すぎるからまだ会えないって言ってた。大人はほとんどダメだって。みんな汚れてるから。
お前以外にベアトリーチェの姿を見ることができた者はいるのか？
最初は無理だった。魔力が弱いからね。毒素に少しでも近づくと体が壊れてしまうって。でも次第に魔力を蓄えてマリア以外の毒素の少ない人の前にも現れられるようになったよ。
それは誰だ？
あんまり多くない。
You mean Angie as well?
使用人の一部の人だけだった。
The servants. Yeah.
具体的には？
今日いる使用人全員。ゴーダさんは違うと思う。
Yeah, of course not.
つまり源氏、シャノン、カノン、熊沢の4人ということか。
あと南條先生も。
And Nanjo. Apparently, they would sometimes come to visit Maria and Beatrice's witch tea parties. Of course, it was only for small things, like bringing them extra tea. However, they were certainly aware of Beatrice, and even talked with her. Yeah, sounds about right.
使用人たちはベアトリーチェとはどう接していた？存在しないはずの客人だ。驚いたりはしないのか？
しないよ。だってベアトリーチェはお屋敷のもう一人の主だもの。
She said the servants treated Beatrice as an honored guest. And sometimes they were permitted to witness the new miracle of magic along with Maria.
つまり1986年の六軒島でベアトリーチェに実際に会えたのはゴーダを除く使用人4人とお前と南條の合計6人だけだったということか。
ベアトもそれ以外の人の前に現れるにはもっともっと魔力を蓄える必要があると言ってた。
つまりそれ以外の人間の前にもやがては姿を現すつもりだったわけか。
すべての人間たちに自分を認めさせる日こそが自分の復活の日だって言ってた。
Surely she wanted to do the same for Ballard too. Maria, the servants, and Nanjo had acknowledged her. I guess in Will's mind, like from a pure mystery perspective right over here, Nanjo and the servants are going to be the next victims of questioning and such. I guess. She had probably chosen those humans whose anti-magic toxin was weakest and appeared before them first. Beatrice's game must have been to steadily increase the number of humans who could recognize her, until she could make everyone on the island acknowledge her. In that case, the last person for Beatrice to appear in front of would be Ballard, the one said to have the strongest anti-magical power. And, you know, in that perspective, she must have succeeded before. I feel... Oh my. Okay. Maybe another interpretation of the Golden Land would actually be like to make everyone know of the existence of Beatrice and appear in front of them. Maybe. Again, with the whole like threatening the adults at the dinner and meeting them in person and such. Little by little, every single one would be in front of Beatrice, aka they would appear in the Golden Land. Valor was like among the last ones to go to the Golden Land, aka meet with Beatrice in person and such. Like with the adults and the servants and doctor, I can see that. But I'm still thinking a little bit about Jessica and George. Does this mean Beatrice thought that Valor would be the hardest one to convince? Like, I already had my my tangents when it comes to Jessica and the conspiracies and such. So I'm not gonna dwell on that much right now. It seems true that Valor was one of Beatrice's goals. However, if you go with Valor's chessboard thinking, we might say that Beatrice, who wanted others to acknowledge her existence, was someone who could not exist unless she was acknowledged. Valor reached this thought himself back in the first game. Yeah, there is something different about the Beatrice of 1986. She's different from the Italian Beatrice or the Ecuadorian Beatrice, both of whom certainly did exist. The Beatrice of 1986, the one whom we are so familiar with in a mysterious way, yet who has no existence. What does it mean to kill the Beatrice who has no existence? Oh boy. Poetic waxing once again. What does it mean to kill the Beatrice who has no existence? The minimum number of people required to create an universe is 2. However, Maria had said that even a single person could give birth to a universe. What is this song? And yet Maria had desired a second person to nurture the world she had given birth to alone. Because if it was born and not nurtured, it would die and disappear. Let's replace the word universe with Beatrice. The minimum number of people required to create Beatrice is 2. However, even a single person could give birth to her. And yet that single person desired a second person. A second person to acknowledge that Beatrice was created by the first person. That meeting with a second person is a scene that Maria had just described. And the single person who created Beatrice had looked for a second person to acknowledge Beatrice. And selected Maria. Maybe we're talking about the original person that inhabited the personality of Beatrice after Valor left, like 6 years ago, when a whole baby Bato and elder Bato were born. She definitely needed like a second person to acknowledge her. To acknowledge Beatrice, that is. We don't need Furudo Erika's hardest reasoning to know that the teacup magic was a sleight of hand. Maria, believing in the story about the anti-magic toxin, would close her eyes whenever magic happened. Any sleight of hand would be possible while she had her eyes closed. The caramel Maria had been given as a proof of her meeting with a witch had not fallen low because Maria had done it. In a season where one was likely to put ice in their tea, it was only natural for a caramel left in the bag to melt. Ushiromiya Maria, the girl who's too trusting and will accept the story easily. Beatrice appeared first in front of this girl, who had, in the language of witches, very little of the anti-magic toxin. If we liken the creation of Beatrice to the laying of an egg, then when a single person creates her, it is no more than a delusion. Like a chick inside the egg. If, and only if, a second person acknowledges her, the shell cracks as she appears. Yeah. again, like one interpretation of magic is something that can truly blossom when there's more than one person to experience it. She only appears when a second person comes to warm the egg. When Maria nudged Beatrice, she finally hatched, and the chick was born. Again, with the whole magic performer and audience analogy that I had done plenty of times. In that case, Maria Socier, which nurtured Beatrice and her sister Magic, was like a nest. Beatrice had a dignified presence, called herself the Witch of the Rokkenjima, and claimed to have lived 1,000 years. Thinking about the Beatrices who appeared in a previous game, it sounds like less the chick battle, and more like Battle the Elder. Yeah. So does this mean that the meeting Maria has just spoken of marks the birth of the Battle the Elder? Oh. Okay. I see. So you guys remember in the last investigation video when I talked about Baby Battle and Elder Battle and the transition between the two? Like Baby Battle was born as a perfect model of what Beller wanted, but as time went on and Beller would not come to the family, the original person started doubting themselves, and thus Baby Battle would slowly disappear, and thus Elder Battle would appear. But I didn't really put like a time stamp on when the new Elder Battle would appear, but I mean, if we were to put like a origin to it, this could be it. It's like when Maria appeared in front of her, that she decided to do that. That Elder Battle was born. The egg itself had already been created by the first person. During the time before the meeting with Maria, it matured fully inside its shell, becoming the character with the dignified presence of 1,000 years. And then, when Maria acknowledged it, it hatched. And the Witch of Rokkenjima finally gained the form. Perhaps that moment marks the birth of the Beatrice of 1986. The younger Chick Battle was born out of love for Belle. Since that birth has not yet occurred at this point in time, then the birth of Battle the Elder and the existence of Beatrice at this time must have nothing to do with Balor. Yeah. Well, actually, hold on, let me read that again. Since that birth has not yet occurred at this point in time. You mean the birth of Baby Battle? Well, I can agree with the idea that the birth of Battle the Elder had nothing to do with Balor, that's for sure. I don't know about the Baby Battle part. That the birth has not yet occurred at this point? What does that mean? Are you enjoying this reasoning, Ben Castell? If you are, let's at least have some applause from the audience. Great, thanks a bunch.
Maria はベアトに魔法で叶えてほしい願いがたくさんあるの。だからベアトが復活するのに協力してるの。
願いとは何だ？
いっぱいある。内緒。
黒き魔女からママを守ってほしいか。
どうしてウィルは何でもわかるの？すごいよ。
魔女に願わねば取り戻せない世界だと。 前はもう思っているのか。
うん。ママは大好き。優しい。いつまでも一緒にいたい。永遠に。
今度はマリアージュ・ソルシエールについて聞きたい。
Maria is having a little bit of a reaction to that. Maybe because of Angie. I mean, let's keep in mind that the whole Maria Associé thing ended badly because Angie, the 6-year-old Angie, was being a bit. Well, you know, Angie would be that 6 years old. But.
どうした？
やだ。
何？
私、喉が渇いちゃったから、ジュース飲んでくる。
Okay, well, you can go ahead and do that, sweetie.
またね。
Bye, Maria. Yeah, of course, she's not gonna talk about that. Maria suddenly started acting distant, bowed her head, and left without waiting for a reply. It was a very un-Maria-like thing to do. I see. So the game master has moved the piece. Also that. There's also that kind of explanation where Mayor Costello is moving the piece, because if we were to learn more about Maria Sociedad, then it would be too much information. Okay, so not only did Ben Costello move Beller out of the funeral because it would be too much, but she's also moving the Maria Sociedad out of the game board because it will be too much. Is there a connection between the two? Well, there's Angie. There is that. So maybe it wouldn't be necessarily Beller who has the solution to all of our problems if he were here. But if we were to learn more about Angie, maybe we would be given too much information. Like, we would either be learning a lot of information about Angie from Beller, or we will learn some information about Angie from Maria Socia from Maria. So, maybe. Apparently, she's telling me to ask about something different from now. At some point, Leon had started chatting with the other family members. Jessica seemed to be getting irritated at having her butt pinched so much, and George was trying to calm her down. Jessica and George. I guess I'll hear their stories next. Oh yeah, I'm definitely interested in hearing their stories, because we haven't heard them that much. I'm dying to see what they're gonna say. Compared to Maria, the anti-magic toxin is very strong in these two. At least, at the beginning of the other games, they didn't acknowledge Beatrice. Maria showed me the point of view of one who believes. Now to hear from those who don't. Man, this really feels like a like a pure murder mystery structure right away here. Like we're going from one person to the other. I did mention that before, but even the chapters that are being divided here. Cause from what I remember, might as well give like the easiest example at this point, like Murder on Orient Express with Hercule Poirot. In that, Poirot interrogated each character. But I feel like I remember that each character had their own chapter. Like, okay, you have Hercule Poirot, and I think there was also like a doctor there as well. There were some other people. and they would start interrogating people one by bringing 1 or 2 people to the table at a time and asking them. Like, you bring one person to the table, ask them, then they leave, end of chapter. And then the next chapter, you have the next person that would go to the table and talk to Higurashi and something like that. At least that's how I feel like I remembered that. It is similar here as well. Wow.
あざになってねえか。あいつマジで容赦ねえ。
Oof. Man, poor thing. Look at that butt of yours. You're gonna have quite a scar. Oh, my bad.
ジェシカ、何か言ったかい？
何ももう十分懲りたって。
Leon, who had apparently been chatting with the adult siblings, spun around with a smile and stared at Jessica. Looks like the older siblings firmly in control around here.
あいつ、その上地獄耳だな。ようやくリオンってやつが理解できてきた。
Leon is quite fearsome. Arr.
そう。昔から妙に勘が良くって。その上ほら、大人受けが妙にいいし。私は家でも学校でも比べられてる。
そういえば、リオンは中学も高校も生徒会長だったね。バドミントンの部長もやってたよね。
行く先々でリオンと比較されてひでえ目にあったというわけだ。
私は中学に入って行ったぜ。その時はもう副会長やってた。